Hi, my name is Alex Holbrook and I'll be discussing air pollution in Linfen China. The objectives of this presentation are to discuss the history of Linfen with regards to its current air pollution from local coal and iron mining, to understand the current state of air pollution in Linfen, and to address what China is doing to curb air pollution. An outline of this presentation is shown on this slide, and we'll start with a brief history of Linfen, talk about what China is doing to improve air quality, and then go into the current data on the air quality in Linfen. So a brief history of the area. Before industrialization, Linfen was known as the city of fruits and flowers. It was largely just a small agricultural town in the Jiangxi province of China. However, in 1978, when reforms and open policy were introduced that led to rapid industrialization, Linfen rapidly became one of the most polluted cities in the world. And in 2006, the Blacksmith Institute ranked it as one of the most polluted areas in the world. The Chinese National Geography magazine listed it as the third most contaminated city in the world. And some US agencies declared that Linfen was unfit for human habitation. One of the things that led to this large amount of air pollution accumulation is the geography of Linfen itself. On the right side of the screen, you can see a topographical map that shows the city area. Linfen sits in a basin, and the blue areas of this map show areas of low elevation. Because it sits in a basin and is surrounded by mountain ranges, it's very hard for air pollution to disperse. Further, looking at this history of air pollution, it can be broken down into three separate time categories. The first is stage 1, where there was rapid industrialization and very little environmental impact knowledge, which led to large amounts of pollution being directly released into the atmosphere. Stage 2 was when iron production was severely limited in Linfen because iron prices dropped. And so as iron factories went bankrupt and closed, air pollution started to get somewhat better. Stage 3 is marked by Chinese government intervention when they came in to implement policies to curb air pollution. Specifically, between 2001 and 2005, the Chinese government closed 3,000 factories in order to help improve the air pollution in Linfen. So what are some of the other things that the Chinese government are doing to improve air quality across the country? Well, first, it released an air pollution action plan in 2013, which established aggressive guidelines to reduce emissions. In 2018, though, China refocused its environmental policy on a more gradual and long-term action plan. Also, China has received large investments from the World Bank. A total of $1.3 billion have been invested in fighting air pollution across the country, with a focus on controlling air pollutants at their source by improving energy efficiency and expanding clean energy. So, have these investments and have these changes been seen in the air quality in Linfen? We can look at publicly available air quality data to assess this. In general, the air quality in Linfen has been getting better year to year. This slide shows the average air quality data as represented by the PM 2.5 and the PM 10. Both of these measures measure inhalable particulates. PM 2.5 measures particulates with a diameter of 2.5 micrometers or smaller, and PM 10 measures particulates with a diameter of 10 micrometers or smaller. In the June 2018 three-year action plan that China published, it did note that there are seasonal changes to the air quality in Linfen. So if we look at the air quality data stratified by month, we can see the seasonality, as January and December have the worst air quality in the city. And this is because residents of Linfen predominantly use coal to heat their homes in the winter. So, to help address this, the Chinese government has started to introduce natural gas to the city's households, and now 85% of the households use natural gas as their primary source of heating. If we look at this air quality data in one other way, by stratifying it across AQI categories of good, moderate, unhealthy for sensitive groups, unhealthy, very unhealthy and hazardous. We see that for the majority of the days of the last 7 years, most of those days were categorized as either unhealthy or unhealthy for sensitive groups, and only 18 days were categorized as having good air quality. If we take this categorical data even further, we can see that when we apply US EPA standards, Linfen still faces a huge air quality problem because only 0.13% of the days in the last 7 years met US EPA standards for PM 2.5, and only 8.55% of the days in the last 7 years met US EPA standards for PM 10. So in summary, Linfen China was once a small agricultural community, but it rapidly became one of the most polluted cities in the world. There has been considerable improvements in the air quality in Linfen since it was globally recognized for its air pollution. And while there has been significant changes in environmental standards and investment in emission reduction, Linfen still is burdened with pollution that far exceeds air quality standards. Thank you for watching, and these are my references for my presentation.